hope you're keeping safe and I hope you're doing well. Today we'll be talking about movable adverbial phrases. Now this topic involves moving of phrases from the initial or head position to the final or tail position. Moving of phrases from the initial or head position to the tail or final position. Now, I want you to listen closely to these sentences that I have here. She came here 2 weeks ago. She came here 2 weeks ago. The teacher will come at 2 o'clock. The teacher will come at 2 o'clock. I did 4 programs last year. I did 4 programs last year. Now, you notice that these sentences, I have some parts of them that I underlined. Now, those parts that I underlined are my adverbial phrases. They are my movable adverbial phrases. The question then comes, how do you know where is your head position or your tail position? Now, you're able to tell your head or tail position from the part of the sentence that tells you what the subject is about. Now, let's look at our first example again. She came here 2 weeks ago. She came here 2 weeks ago. When did she come here? Our subject here is this person here, she, isn't it? Now, what did she do? She came. When did she come? 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago tells us or explains more about the action that she takes. So that part of our sentence that passes the major idea of what the sentence is talking about becomes what? Your phrase, your adverbial phrase. Okay? And so you are able to tell where is your head part of your sentence or your tail part of your sentence with the introduction of a comma. You are able to tell the head and tail part of your sentence with the introduction of a comma. Now let's look at what we have here. 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, she came here. 2 weeks ago, she came here. Now you see that it's the same thing with what we read before. And we said this part that I underlined is my tail sentence, the tail part of the sentence, the tail phrase. Now we have done something. We have moved our tail part to the top, to the head part of our sentence. It now becomes 2 weeks ago, she came here. What else do we notice about this sentence? It has a comma. It has a comma. So when you see a sentence that passes the main idea about a subject to you and is closely followed by a comma, you know that that first part of your sentence becomes what? Your head sentence. You know that becomes your head sentence. Now let's do this. Let us underline our head sentences here. 2 weeks ago, she came here. So 2 weeks ago becomes what? Our head sentence. Number 2, at 2 o'clock, the teacher will be here. At 2 o'clock, the teacher will be here. So at 2 o'clock becomes what? Our head sentence here. Last year, I did 4 programs. Last year, I did 4 programs. So last year becomes our head sentence. So I want you to take note that head sentences are mostly marked with a comma. So that's how you identify your head sentence. But for our tail sentences, we know that it talks more about, it gives you an idea of what the subject is doing. They are mostly at the end of the sentence. So we know that they are tail sentences. They are not marked with a comma. So take note of that. So let's look at more examples here. He scored very quickly. He scored very quickly. Now if you look at this sentence, you see that there is no comma. So what exactly are we going to do? We know that this is going to definitely be a tail sentence. So what did he do? He scored. How did he score? Very quickly. So very quickly becomes our tail, beg your pardon. It becomes our tail movable adverbial clause. It becomes our tail movable adverbial clause. Now let's look at number 2. The man in the room is your father. The man in the room is your father. Again, there are no commas, alright? It's not marked by a comma anywhere. And it's telling us about our subject here, the man. What happened to the man? He is in the room and he is your father. So the man in the room is your father. Okay, so it's a tail sentence. It's a tail sentence or phrase. Now let's look at number 3 example. On reflection, I believe he was right. On reflection, I believe he was right. Now, if you look at the sentence very well, you see that it is marked with a comma here, meaning that we've already been given the head sentence. We've already been given the tail part of our sentence. We have to look for the head sentence here, okay? Remember I said because it's marked with a comma, you have to know, you know that it is a head sentence. So we say, on reflection, I believe he was right. I hope the class is understood. Remember, I will repeat it again because I gave you assignments on it and you didn't get it right. Whenever you see a sentence that has a comma, you know that the head sentence is what you are looking for. Any sentence that has been marked with a comma, where the main idea has been marked with a comma, you know that it is what the head sentence. But where we do not have a comma, okay, and our main idea about the subject is at the end of the sentence, then you know that it is what a tail sentence you mark at the end. I hope you understand, and when we meet again, we will take some more exercises on this topic. Thank you.